So you and the coterie are staying at the Regent Hotel, which is apparently also a stronghold of the Tremere here in Bordeaux.
Mm-hmm.
And you passed one night, the Tremere Primogen has insisted on taking a blood sample to do some tests, make sure there are no weird blood bonds or anything lurking anywhere. And a little bit to...
Is it the next night?
Yes. And so
all right.
A little bit to Marie's surprise, he has not said anything. Well, actually, what he has said about Marie is that she's the most bland Toreador blood he has ever had. So there you go. And then also asked to speak to her privately.
Mm-hmm. And I agree. But I'm like, here we go. Okay.
Yeah. And so he's wearing a t-shirt that you think is from some kind of like online video game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an upside down U with spikes on it. And jeans and Birkenstocks again. You don't know what is with this kind of Birkenstocks.
Are there socks?
There are absolutely socks.
Of course there are socks. Okay.
And he just says in the most corporate fashion, walk with me, talk with me.
Walk with you. All right. And I'm like looking around. I'm just trying to see if anybody's listening in.
So you're in just a very normal, fancy hotel, but normal hotel hallway, and he just starts going off in a direction.
And I've like prepared myself. I've dressed myself kind of. I'm only half dressed, and that's deliberate, but I've done my hair. And I am trying to look as innocent as possible because I know I'm alive, but, you know.
You'd like to keep it that way.
Mm-hmm. Although I'm not thrilled to be talking about him, although I'm hiding my displeasure. But although I realize that he's probably going to know that I'm not thrilled to be talking to him for a number of reasons.
He doesn't seem to care, actually.
No.
And he says, so we can play this two ways. I can be very straightforward, or I can try to come up with some euphemisms for what the fuck is going on. Which would you like?
Well, to be honest, I'm not so sure who's listening in, so I guess we're going with euphemisms.
Sure. You are an odd little goose to have ended up with all these ducklings.
Well, I didn't intend to end up with all these ducklings, though I'll admit. I rather solicited some of their company.
So, what is a scary, scary goose like you doing in a farmyard like Bordeaux? I want the truth.
Well, the truth goes back quite a few years, and I'm sure you're a busy man, but in summary, I will do absolutely anything to keep our mutual enemy, and yes, it is a mutual enemy, out of France. Whether it's here or one of the other domains, I don't want them here, and I don't want them taking over.
Oh, come on, the Algerians aren't that bad.
The Algerians are lovely. That's not who I'm talking about. I have more than a few reasons. None of them are, none of them are very happy ones.
Are we talking about a particularly well-bred dog, or are we talking about mangy, rabid curs?
I'm talking about whoever. I'm sorry. I'm talking about whoever poses that particular threat. I don't care if I'm doing it for Villon. I don't care if I'm doing it for Boyer. I'm really just doing it for me. And I'll take out any dog that brings in that particular brand of fleas.
Right?
What?
We are talking about the Sabbat, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Sorry,
we are.
euphemisms.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but I won't deny a certain amount of alarm and more than that curiosity. But I'm willing to see how this plays out. I know that not everyone of your particular breed of waterfowl subscribe to mangy, rabies-laden ideologies.
Well, there's always a few. And it's not so, I will admit, it's not always a matter of ideology. I'm not exactly fond of some of the more revered myths of our kind and the figures thereof. I at least agree with them on that matter somewhat, but not enough to ever join them. Or rather, ever join them again. There's a great deal of personal history there. And at one point, I'm going to come at my purse. I'm going to take something out. It's like a little miniature, and it's a miniature version of the portrait that I keep in my apartment. And then I just look at it for a second, and then I put it away back into my purse.
Your sire, right?
Yeah, well, she was a lot more than me than just that.
Kinky.
No, not like that.
Listen, I understand a certain amount of apprehension around being here, and me.
Salat was innocent.
I know.
Sorry, excuse me. I'm sorry. Pardon me. Terrible manners sometimes. Won't happen again.
No, that's fine. No, I'm quite aware. Where I'm going a little bit more directly, though, is that I'm willing to let you operate in town, keep your secret, hush hush. But know that if you cause any unwarranted chaos in Bordeaux, I will find something more entertaining to do with your carcass than stake it out for the sun.
Well, we both know that we both know that each of us has capabilities like that. And if I find out that you're one of the reasons that particular brand of canine has come in, that you have any connection to him, well, you know that I can get creative too. And given what I've discovered, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, I wouldn't exactly be shocked if it was one of you who were involved. We both know that there's a leak here.
Oh, yes.
That's all I say. That's all I'll say.
I am curious. Who's your money on?
I'm somewhat interested in the Giovanni, I suppose. But I have a number of theories, and I'm not certain of any of them anymore. Because something just really threw me for a loop recently, I'll admit. But I'll find out quickly enough.
Oh.
And I do have another lead. Doesn't point to any particular kindred at the moment, but it will soon.
I'll put €5 on that. It's not Katerina.
I don't gamble.
What good are you?
Oh, you'll find out soon enough.
Kinky.
Is that just a word you use? Because I feel like maybe you don't actually know what that word means and you're just using it because it annoys people.
Oh. Your mouth. Your mouth.
This one, never mind. Yep.
Anyway, I won't take up any more of your evening. I'm sure you have other people to spew nonsense at. But I'll say that for now, at least, we have certain ambitions or goals. We have certain goals in common. And look, just don't fuck this up, please. You seem...
I'm very efficient. Let me just put it this way. You ever hear of a little town called Drew? Not too far from here. So how about halfway here between here and Poitou? Little city?
No.
It's right there. It's right there.
Oh. You're... Ooh.
Did you hear what happened there? Do you know what used to be there? You know what isn't there anymore?
A good place to get raclette?
Anyways, it used to be there. And with no help from anyone else, I made sure it's not there anymore.
I don't know what it is you have against raclette, but okay.
I can't eat it.
It's not the cheese's fault. Look, even if you don't have anything else better to do, I have a few more tests to get through.
You know by now that I'm not connected to any unsavory people. Not in the way that would be a threat to you.
So far. As I mentioned, these tests are only so conclusive. But...
Oh,
speak louder.
I'm disappointed. The mighty Tremere Primogen can't... the regent of the regent is only so conclusive. Be aware that I'm not threatened by you. See this? This is an arm, not a pile of ash. If you were going to kill me, it wouldn't be an arm anymore.
That's very true. A bientôt, mademoiselle. And he wanders off and waves without turning back.
Well, and I'm just kind of like collecting myself, praying that this night is better than the last one. I kind of look around. I'm very uncomfortable. I'm like thinking about what I'd like to do with Lyle if I got the chance. And then I decide, okay, all right. And I go back to my room and I order room service real quick. I have a young man brought to me. I wet my tongue a bit. And I start preparing for the night. And
is following up on some leads. Jenny has to go check in with her boss, she said. Anais has a meeting with Gaston, who was Joan's ghoul.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got some time to get your own affairs in order.
Mm-hmm. And I have a few thoughts on that.
Mm-hmm.
So Marie just basically, she starts changing a bit. She doesn't want people poking around her apartment for obvious reasons. So she sets out. She's been promised that, she can move freely.
Mm-hmm.
So her thought is, I'm going to text Lore,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to say, can you meet me later at, what's the name of the bar again?
Which bar?
The one we went to, the Bruja owned one.
Oh, El Bodegon.
Yeah, El Bodegon, yes. I asked her to meet me there in about 2 hours. And I just sort of start just getting ready. 1 second.
Shortly after you text Laura,
Mm-hmm.
your phone goes off, you've got a new message. But it's not her, actually, it is Mark. And he says, you're looking into the Sabbat raid, right?
Yes, idiot. Yes.
I think I found someone who knows.
And meet me outside my apartment building. I tell him to meet me outside my apartment building in about 45 minutes and to bring that person.
Okay.
And make sure that they're not armed.
They won't be.
Good. All right. Marie sets out. She gets a bunch of boxes. She just raids the back of a liquor store and gets a bunch of boxes.
Yeah.
And she starts loading up her crap, and she basically instructs various implementations she has. Now that no one's around, wait 1 second, let me change my setting.
So once Marie gets to her apartment,
Mm-hmm.
She opens the door and she does not find things as she left them.
All right.
It looks like someone tossed the place and then it's been put back. In addition to that, there are 2 kinds of takeout containers on the coffee table, several cans of beer, and there's a trail of clothing leading down the hall to the bathroom.
All right, I follow the trail of clothing. What do I find?
And you find... Oh, and she can hear someone singing, sort of just singing to themselves. And as she enters the apartment and follows the trail of clothing, it's all ratty, dingy shit. In the bathroom is a petite woman with black hair in a full tub, plenty of bubbles, washing something made of cloth. And she turns to Marie when she darkens the doorway, as it were, and she says, "Hey."
All right, I'm not. I want to make it very clear. Marie has basically outfitted every inch of this apartment to do And that's when the faucets of the tub turn back into arms and wrap themselves around her throat. I put my hands on the side, and that's what happens.
Interesting. The young woman fights and struggles, and it flails a little bit in the tub, and that is when Marie notices something about her. She has what looks like twisted or malformed bones, both clavicles, and
like where I grabbed
foot.
I'm really glad I wore silver tonight, darling. And
good.
I loosen it just slightly enough. But then I have there's a shower head above.
Oh yeah.
And it comes down. And it wraps itself around like her or under her arms.
Sure.
And like holds her there.
Mm-hmm.
You made a terrible mistake, darling. A very bad mistake.
Look, I don't know what order the books go in. Okay? I found them just all over the floor. I thought you might at least like it if I picked them up.
Excuse me? All right, I'm gonna have everything tighten around her just so she can barely breathe. All right, but she can't move.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I rush out of there and I rush to the library room.
Yeah. Let's see. So, how to describe this? Many of the books, if not all of them, have been misshelved. Any papers or folios have been, someone tried to put them back, but it's very untidy. Place.
All right, I'm trying to calm myself. What books exactly? It's every book?
Yeah. This place has been rifled through.
Anything missing?
Not that you notice.
Well, I really want to look.
Mm-hmm. And roll me perception plus alertness. Difficulty 5. This is your place.
3 successes.
Okay. You don't find anything missing. Clearly what they were looking for, they did not find. Whether or not it's there.
All right. Is there any way I can maybe see if they left any sign?
Perception plus investigation.
Okay, 1 second. Perception plus.
And this is going to be difficulty 7. Difficulty 7. Yeah.
3 successes again.
Oh, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you do find that there is like a glass, a cabinet with glass doors that have fingerprints on them. You find a boot print that you're pretty sure is not pretty sure will not match the boots that were left in the trail of clothing. And you find that there may have been other clues, but they may have been disturbed by the place being cleaned up by someone who was maybe well-intentioned, but didn't know what they were doing.
Oh, I'm fucking pissed now. So, I want to make it clear, my books, They are not the type of books that are easily read by someone who's not well versed in them.
Yeah.
These are old texts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty obvious to me. It's obvious to me who it is. Like, they sent some fucking shovelheads in here. Wait, one second. Sorry, I got smeared lipstick. They sent some fucking shovelheads in here. And in a way, I'm kind of insulted at the same way, as well as, I'm not just angry, I'm insulted that they be this fucking clumsy. So I'm gonna march back into the bathroom. You made it worse, you idiot. And I loosened it a bit.
Sorry.
When did you get here?
It was like, I don't know, 3:00 this afternoon.
What did you find exactly? Try to remember as much as you can.
You want to remember as much as I can?
Yes.
You want to hear all of it? Okay, so when I got up here, the door was open. The lock had been picked really inexpertly, like mangled the fucking thing. I mean, that or you've got a really good lock, and they had to fight with it for a while. I found the couch turned over. I found most of the books removed from the shelves. I found every large piece of furniture had been moved, like they were checking for packets taped to the backs of them, or maybe safes in the walls or something. I found that you don't entertain here much. Like, there's nothing in your fridge. I found some really weird medical looking equipment in the closet. I found, and she just keeps going with things that she found.
All right, and I stop her after a while. I'm like, what were you doing here?
Well, I mean, I needed a place to convalesce. You kind of fucked me up last night. And, you weren't here.
What? Wait, okay, I want to know your plan for a second, because I'm confused. I fucked you up.
Yeah.
So you followed me to my home and came into my home of the person who... Were you planning on killing me? What was your plan?
I followed you to the Regent. I knew you weren't going to be here. So that's why I came back.
And you thought I wouldn't come back?
Well, I figured you'd be back eventually, but I didn't know what they were doing to you in there.
Oh my God. I walk up to her.
I've still got some beer if you want some.
No, I walk up to her and I put my hand on her face. All right. And I make her brows come forward. I want to flesh and bone. Mm-hmm. Okay. So should I do a roll for that? Or
be a roll, but I do want you to spend the blood involved, which I think is
okay.
Each.
Okay, one for each.
Yeah.
All right, that brings me down, and I'm already okay. Yeah, I already drank earlier, so that's down 2 blood points. Okay, down 2 points, and all right. What's going to be my roll again?
We're not going to work with a roll with it for this right now.
Oh, we're just going to go with it. Okay. All right. I'm going to make her brow come forward, her nose grow, and her teeth grow.
Okay.
And it's going to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
All right, darling. And then I'm going to grab a mirror and I'm going to hold it up in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that? Do you want that to change?
Is this a trick? Is this a trick question?
No. Do you want that fixed?
All right. Yeah?
All right, here's what's going to happen. You're not going to be playing around anymore, darling. And I put her teeth back. All right?
You know, you don't really
Shut up!
know how personal your teeth are until they're not your teeth.
Shut the hell up. Shut up. Shut up. Or I will remove your mouth. Do you want your mouth gone? Because I can remove your mouth.
Yeah.
I will make you shut up, literally. Now listen. If you want this back and this back, if you want your shoulders back and your foot back, darling, you're going to stop fucking around. All right, you can convalesce here. But one, you're going to keep your hands off my fucking bubble bath. And two, you're going to listen to me very carefully and you're going to answer all my questions. And for the next couple of days, you're going to be real nice to me. Do you understand?
Oh, I love questions. I was always that kid in school who had her.
No, shut up.
Because she.
Shut. All right, and I fuck up her mouth again. Her mouth is. All right.
Mm. Mm.
You're not getting your mouth back until you learn to shut the hell up. You gotta learn manners. You were really stupid to come here. You're not too bright. Is she laughing or crying? Is she laughing or crying? Oh, you're such an idiot. All right. Can you nod your head if you can just keep your answers short? All right, I'm going to just leave her there then. I'm just going to leave her there. I'm going to go out and I'm just going to be like, okay, I'm going to put some stuff in boxes. And I'm going to just briefly go down to meet. And then I'm going to go down. I'm going to just keep her there. She's stuck, like stuck. Oh, and I say to her, look, you see what I did there with the bathroom? This entire complex can do all sorts of things like that. All right? And they have now just all been instructed to keep doing things like that. Do you understand me? Not if you understand.
Mm.
Do you want more things like that to happen to you? Shake your head if you don't.
Oh, she wiggles her hips.
You know what? Fuck it. All right. I'm gonna bring out the big guns. Oh, I see it. You're a dirty girl, aren't you? And I open her mouth.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. I know it's a bad habit. It's just the way I'm made.
Mm-hmm. Well, why don't I join you? And then I lift up the skirts of my dress, and I step in, and I really lift the skirts.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, darling?
I think you need to see it.
Oh no!
Agency. Modeling agency.
Mm-hmm. I put the thing down. Now, and then I reach out and I take something from down there and I leave it in the tub with her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you get the idea. Now, I'm going to come back for whatever that thing. I'm going to come back for a bit of that later on, just to see if you're bound to anybody that I need. I know a person. You're going to stay here. All right?
Clearly, I'm not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Now, tell me, who hired you? It was Joan, correct?
So I don't mean to entirely disassemble the premise of your question, but I have not been hired by anyone. I was doing a favor for Joan, yes.
Did you know what her purpose in Bordeaux was?
Not exactly. I have an idea what she's been up to back home, but as far as I knew about her coming here, I was...
What do you mean what she was up to back home?
Oh, well, I mean, she's kind of instrumental in setting up a fun little coup.
Is it against her marquee entirely, or is this blessed by by the leader of Toulouse?
No, I think DuPont is gonna meet the sun.
All right. Did she... And you are not to speak a word of what this question ever again. Understand, you're going to forget that you ever answered it. story that you ever heard.
Try.
Did anybody mention anything about an artifact?
You mean like Joan?
Yes.
No.
No? All right. All right, you're going to stay here. And you're not going to make a sound. And I leave the bathroom and I go load up some boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And I bring them down to the front lobby where I meet Mark and whoever he's with. And yes, I'm just going to leave her there because I don't want her going anywhere. Hello. Guess what you're bringing to the Regent tonight? And I just point to the boxes.
Okay. Yep.
Now, who is this?
He's outside.
All right, bring him in.
You don't want to.
Oh, I should mention I shut Gwen, was it? Not Gwen. What was her name? Whatever her name is. I shut her up.
Okay. So Mark picks up the boxes and he says, come on, he's outside.
All right. Bring him in here. You don't have to leave with the boxes right now.
Okay. He puts the boxes down.
You'll leave when we're done talking.
And he goes out and comes back in with someone that you recognize from court.
Who is it?
It is this person.
1 second. I'm just trying to. Okay. He is okay. So he's the former primogen. He's provost. Okay.
So he's both former primogen and former sheriff. He gave both positions to others early 20th century, if I remember correctly, and kind of stepped back to support his clan in other ways.
All right. Well, I lead them upstairs. And I bring them into the apartment where it's quiet. I've also had some arms come down and like remove the takeout and whatever,
Sure.
right? So the living room is clean. I say,
Xavier says, "Oh, I thought maybe we could take a walk."
oh, then okay. If that's what he's going to say, then when I offer to bring him upstairs, that's what he says. And we didn't go upstairs. Then we'll go for a walk. I'd love to take a walk with you. And then I look at Mark and I go, I look at him. And then I look at him. Is he going to be necessary?
Oh, no, I was hoping we could speak privately.
All right. Mark, take the boxes to the Regent now. And I offer him my arm, and I'm like, it's an honor to meet you. I've heard a few things about you.
And I have heard, well, frankly, precious little of you, but I can't wait to get to know you better. And he walks you out the door, leaving Mark behind. And he says, "Oh, before we get too much further, you should probably get my phone number."
Gladly. And what is it? And then I just take it down. We'll take it down. I'm very interested in speaking to you. You know, one of your successors.
Do you
apparently
take out your phone?
Oh, yeah, I do. I do take out my phone and yeah.
Okay, ready? It's freeze. And you do just that. And then he takes the phone from your hand, puts it in an inside pocket. He says, "I know precious little of these devices, other than that they can be quite dangerous."
Fucking.
Shall we?
Fine.
And he leads you on. It takes you a moment to be able to move again. But he apparently still wants to talk. He says, "Don't worry, you'll get it back when we're done."
You know, if you were worried about that, I would have been happy to just put my phone away.
Away is not the same as in my possession.
I would have given it to you. I'm not afraid of you, and I don't think you're the leak.
Leak? Oh, you mean the traitor?
Yes.
Oh, no. No, I wouldn't do anything to harm Bordeaux. The city means too much to me.
I can understand having personal reasons invested in this cause. Trust me.
Personal, yes, that is a way to phrase it.
If anybody was the traitor, you're the least likely after maybe Boyer. I mean, I know a little bit of your history. I've asked around. Okay? If you wanted this place to go to the Sabbat or anyone else, you wouldn't have given up all the power you had before.
It's true. So, let's speak of something perhaps a bit more pressing.
All right.
Madeleine d'Origny needs to be gone.
And why do you think I'm the one to do it?
Because if you don't, I will out you as a Sabbat saboteur. I don't care whether you're a Zimishi or have just debased your vile clan further by learning unclean arts.
I see.
This knowledge gives me leverage, and I am applying it to make sure that Madeleine is no longer within the borders of Bordeaux by Sunday.
But here's that's not really the answer to my question. Why do you think it's me that's going to do it? Not because you're blackmailing me, but I mean, why do you think I'm more equipped to do this than, say, Roland? Roland could probably have her staked and baked by the morning.
He's not the one that I can apply pressure.
He probably would just...
That will absolutely... make sure that I am not mentioned. If truly you work for the good of Bordeaux, then you will do as I suggest without hesitation or complaint.
I don't really want her here either. Quite frankly, considering what happened, I've become rather attached to the young Toreador who Joan brought here, and quite frankly, Madeleine's an obvious threat to that woman's aims. And it's not like I have a lot of love for Villon. I probably would have gotten rid of her anyways, or had someone else do it. I feel like you might have wasted your time here. But, yeah, I'm not... Fine, I'll get rid of her. I don't care. You could have just asked nicely. I value manners.
No, with those such as yourself.
Yes, well, I could also I could also, assume that this approach is just down to your natural inclinations, I suppose. If that's exactly how we're going to behave towards each other. And I just sort of roll my eyes at him. And I just look at him. I'm just like, let me put it this way, darling. Further interactions with me are now going to be tougher for you because you chose to approach it this way.
I only need this one interaction.
Mm-hmm. We'll see about that. All right. And let me guess, you've also threatened and terrified the idiot. And that's why he brought you here?
Mark? No, Mark is a good boy. He's been led astray. By others.
Yeah, I don't really care where somebody starts. I care about what they do. And if he chose to be led astray by others, he probably wanted to be. At least in my experience, that's how it works. And I'm just I'm just really tired of this bullshit. And I just look at him and I'm like, all right, look. I need you have abilities given your natural state, correct? And I'm assuming that it's the same way that you know about me. Those methods. Any chance you might be able to find something about an artifact around the city?
What sort of artifact?
Powerful.
That I haven't heard of? Oh.
No, if there's one you've heard of that the rest of the court hasn't.
Oh, well.
That's what I'm trying to find right now. And I have a very good, let me put it this way. We both have a very good reason for me to find it.
Interesting. You know, I suppose perhaps I did jump to too many conclusions. And I apologize.
And I just roll my eyes and I'm like, I don't have, you want to apologize? Give me the information I need or tell me where I can get it.
I don't have it, nor do I know where you might hear it. However,
and I just like, I'm not even like mad. I'm just like disappointed. Like I look at him like, I'm disappointed to hear that. And not in like a threatening way, but like in a like genuine way. I'm disappointed to hear that.
However, I'll see what I can find out. And
well, all right. Well, I would appreciate it next time when you approach me about this. You don't freeze me. You can just come to call at the hotel or have one of your ghouls text me. And you know what? I have a pen in my purse. Could you give me your hand for a moment? I promise I won't do anything nasty to it. I really won't. And then
and he gives you his hand.
I take out my pen. This isn't nasty. It's just a regular pen. And I write down my phone number on it. Now, you said you don't understand how phones work. Show this to one of your ghouls. They will text me there next time you want to contact me. Is that fair?
He hands you back your phone and says, just make sure the vile bitch is out of here by the Sabbath.
That's easy to do. It'll be easy to do. Easier than most people would probably expect. But just so we're clear, I don't want any repeats of tonight. If I do exact this very easily without any mess, I expect a return courtesy. Courtesy from here on out. Is that fair?
Let's see this done and go from there.
I like manners. I'm a hospitable person. You are not. You should learn some. And I put my phone in my pocket. I just walk off. And I kind of just mutter to myself. But like just loud enough for him to hear me. Freaking useless. And I just sort of like shake it off. Like I'm annoyed, but like after last night, I'm just not all that fazed by this. And I go back up to my apartment. And I check on the were-raven. She's still mouthless and tied up in there. And I just tell you, okay, look, I'll let you move around a bit, and I'll even give you your mouth back.
So here's the thing about that.
Oh, no.
When you get back in,
yeah,
she's put on one of your robes.
But I left her tied up.
She has donned one of your robes and is staying a few inches away from any of the furniture, but is actually perusing the titles on your bookcases and looking at your paintings and decorations. I mean, it is a nice place, I figure. Oh, no, sorry. She would still not have a mouth.
Okay. All right, darling. I see you've moved around. If you want, but you're not getting your mouth back. All right? Because you've pissed me off a bit too much. I didn't like getting dropped in the lake. I didn't like getting torn apart last night. But I'm assuming you want to convalesce here. You're not going to cause me any more trouble, are you? Really? I give her like a little tiny mouth. She can't, and it's yes or no. Are you going to give me any more trouble?
Not being a bitch. Define trouble.
No more attacks, no more pranks, no more of any of that. You're going to leave my clothes on. Did you touch my jewelry? Because, by the way, plenty of it is silver, darling.
And she looks kind of sheepish and takes a necklace out of the robe pocket and hands it to you.
All right, good thing you said that. I actually, these were my mother's pearls. I like take that, and I'm like, all right, darling. No more of this. All right? Do you understand? Have you stolen anything else? If you want your face back, you're going to give me back everything else, and you're never going to touch my things again. Understand?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Good. All right. And then I give her, you know what? I keep the nose. But I give her mouth back, and I give her brows back.
Look, I understand you're upset, and that's fair. I wouldn't be too fond of me either, considering what happened last night. I was going to let well enough be. I was just going to squat here while you were not here.
You tried to steal my mother's pearls.
I gave them back. It's a thing for us, for me. I'm sorry. But
the little bird likes shiny things.
Yeah. It's really annoying, actually. But anyway, look, I'm not here like to fuck with you anymore. I can promise I will stay out of your way. I have a tendency to end up in, I don't know, unfortunate situations with people. It's just a thing. But I can at least tell you that I won't attack you anymore, and no more pranks on you.
No more pranks on me. No more pranks on my friend Anais. Okay. All right?
Her, she's so nice.
Yeah, no more of that. But if you want to prank Roland, go ahead. You free reign on him.
Tell me, you at least gave him a hard time.
Oh, I'm always doing that.
Okay.
You didn't even have to. It's so stupid. You really. Why do people keep thinking that the only way to get me to do anything is by taking the path of most hostility? What if I have been approached by you, by that idiot downstairs, by multiple people now, thinking
downstairs.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to you. That the best way to approach me and ask me to do things or get something from me is by being as rude as possible. And I am just, I have been absolute helpful little sunshine to everyone here since I got here. I mean, other than the one person I blackmailed, but that was necessary. Look, you're keeping the nose, but you're used to having a beak anyways, so I don't think it should bother you too much. Do whatever you want to Roland. I don't give a shit at this point. Just, if he's doing something for me, don't bother him. All right?
So you're like boss bitch?
Something like that. I'm not really a fan of that terminology, but something like that.
Lady boss?
I hate that even more.
Yeah, it's too American.
I'm so finished with all of this. Ugh. People in the city are so rude, and I don't even know why. I would have been helped. I love bothering Roland. I would have bothered him for you if you hadn't shredded my shoulder.
Well, maybe if I knew that ahead of time.
Well, how was I supposed to tell you that? You just swooped down and grabbed me. You didn't even approach me like a normal person. All right, I'm done with this. Get out of, take off my robe, put your ugly clothes back on, and leave.
Okay, well, can I have, just a moment of privacy here?
Yes, you can go back into the bathroom and have a moment of privacy. Enjoy. Leave my robe there. Make sure it's hanging on a hook. And you better be gone in the next 5 minutes. Out.
She gathers her things, goes back to the bathroom.
And I start looking around and I'm perusing the books. And I'm very irritated because I had them organized by section and now they're not. And I kind of summon a bunch of the light fixtures become arms. It's very Jean Cocteau, right? And they start helping me organize the books. And then I look into, and I tell them to put things in the sections like Bordeaux, pertaining to the city's history, and also anything to do with archaeology and artifacts, things like that. And I start looking through them.
Okay. Intelligence plus your kindred roll and difficulty 6.
Okay, intelligence plus. Okay, difficulty 6. No. No. Definitely fucking not. Wait. Huh. And that's what okay. And then was 4 successes.
Yeah. And so you find some references to the vampiric history of Bordeaux. The first vampire to claim dominion here was, his name was Childeric. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Or Childeric. And he was a Ventru. There are some references to him gaining an interest in vampiric history, kindred history, and metaphysics.
It had to be that, didn't it?
Doing some kind of experimenting with something.
All right, I have 2 points of science. Would that help me at all? You want to do a roll involving that?
That would not.
All right.
But it seems, with 4 successes, it seems reasonable that you can kind of piece together that the combination of history with the sort of mystic research he was doing, he may have done something that, dated back to the antediluvians.
Oh no! And I want to make it very clear. Despite my differing loyalties, I'm not too fond of that shit. I think the Sabbat are more than right about that particular thing.
About which particular thing?
The antediluvians being complete pieces of shit, and that we should. Yeah.
It seems like the artifact was lost after Childeric.
Okay. Lost after Childeric, and I'm guessing, and I'm assuming that I found a reference to somewhere else I might find some more information on this, I'm guessing, right?
You have, how to say this? You can cobble together names of writers, and based on your existing background knowledge, sort of where you might be able to find them and what the manuscripts might look like.
Okay.
It's possible that the university would have some of these books in their ancient texts archives. Other than that, I mean, the Tremere are occultists. They would have a good library and stuff like that.
Oh, of course. All right. All right. I close that up and I begrudgingly text Lyle. And I go, turns out you might be able to help me more than I thought. Can you get me into your best libraries?
He does not respond right away.
All right. I that's fine. I put my phone away because I don't expect him to either. I expect him to pull some shit with me. And I go downstairs and I text Laura and I'm ready to meet her.
Okay. Where would you like to meet? She says Parc de Chantrain.
Yeah, that's fine. The park?
Yeah.
That's fine. Hello, Laura. How are you?
She says, bonsoir. What have you been able to find out?
Well, this may go all the way back to the Middle Ages. Back before all of us. It's not just the Sabbat, but the reason they're here. It isn't about Toulouse, strangely enough. And I have reason to believe that Caterina Giovanni is not involved. Mark is not involved. So we're still up in the air about who the traitor is.
It's a bit disappointing, but...
Also, I'm going to need to find a way to get rid of that Villion's daughter, Madeline, what's-her-face?
Get rid of her?
Have her leave the city, but before that, I need to talk to her. I need to talk to her, and I need to get her out of the city by Sunday.
Interesting. Well, I think that perhaps your friend Anais might be a better avenue there. I haven't spoken to her in quite some time.
Let me ask you something. Were you here when William and his blood daughter, his child, were in control?
Yes.
Did they ever, when they were here, did they ever show any interest in any particular areas in the city? Like, did they ever focus on anything? Were there any strange projects, anything like that?
No, not that I can think of. Madeline always had a thing for the theater, but that's part of why it's Elysium now.
Okay. Well, I need to also ask you a favor. It actually has to do with our original discussion of why I came here. I have a lot of silver jewelry I need melted down. Can you make me sort of an Egyptian collar type thing that goes to the shoulders?
I can put you in touch with someone.
Thank you very much.
Have you found anything out about this possibility of survivors, or did the evidence that was provided by the Nosferatu help at all?
It helped, but I can't go into it right now. I haven't been briefed entirely by my compatriots at the moment. You'd have, but I can get you in touch with them.
Roland and Anais would know more?
Yes, they would. Although they might not be so willing to share, and I'm not sure I feel entirely comfortable giving you that information right now until they're ready to share it. Not because I don't trust you so much as I don't trust who might hear you. And right now, the last thing we need to do is put any more of the city's luminaries at risk.
You said it's silver?
Silver, purely silver. I have plenty of silver jewelry. But it has to be silver.
Do you have daytime help?
No, not at the moment.
Very well.
You think you could provide me some? It would be very helpful to me.
Marcellus has been spending time with someone. I think maybe we could get her to do us a favor.
I'd appreciate that.
I don't have any contact information off the top of my head. I'll have to go home and check my notes, but I will provide you with someone's information that would be able to do that for you.
Thank you. I would really appreciate it.
You do look
Tell me.
one night.
I have. Let me ask you something more. One other thing about the Setites. You said they traffic in drugs.
Yes.
And prostitution, did you say?
Yes.
Did they possibly traffic in anything else?
It's possible. They are snakes.
I need to speak with them a little. I definitely need to meet with them. And if I could get in touch with someone among the Nosferatu, someone who has plenty of access to information, someone who's really got their ear to the ground, shall we say, literally and figuratively, I would appreciate it.
Let me give you a phone number.
Thank you very much.
Takes out her phone.
And I take out mine.
And she says many of us around town make use of Monsieur Pierre and his SOS Friends hotline. And she gives you a number. She says that Monsieur Pierre is the operator and is very good at connecting people in need with people who can help.
I appreciate that. You've been really helpful, and no offense, but that is partly why I'm being a little reticent to share things with you at the moment. But I promise you, once everything is secure, I will have more to report. Unfortunately, a lot of new complications have come in, and and a lot of potential opportunities for leaks to spring.
I'm sorry, I have to ask, what is this about Madeline? I mean,
It's a favor.
She was a puppet of Villon, but she was a good leader.
That's nice, but she can't be here. And if you really have that much affection for her, then you should want her gone too. That's all I'll say. Now, if you know her well, maybe you can convince her to leave. Now, I doubt that, though. It seems like she's a woman on a mission. But if you maybe can arrange a meeting between us, I won't hurt her. But I will need to persuade her.
I'll see what I can do.
And I really appreciate this. Really. Thank you. I'm going to head back to the Regent.